Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Takes Show. What's going on, everybody? It's super late. I told you I was coming in here with the freaking review. What y'all think I'm finna do? Y'all think I'm finna give this show a pass? Y'all think I'm finna sit up here and say that SummerSlam 2023 was fantastic? You must be on crack. I'm about to destroy this show. I coined the name SummerJoke for a reason. WWE continues to showcase why they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Doing some of the most bull jive, idiotic, stupid crap that they continue to do. I give this company the reason of a doubt. I give them the opportunity to showcase that they could put on a good show. And they failed again. SummerJoke 2023 was a complete joke. You're going to be surprised exactly what I actually liked on this show. I watched this show, ladies and gentlemen, and another thing, too. Detroit was terrible. No wonder they ain't been there since 93. Makes sense. No wonder they have not been there since 1993. It took 30 years for them to come back for a freaking SummerJoke. I understand why. Ford was packed out. They claimed it was almost 60,000 clowns in the building. Listen, they probably bull jiving. I don't know. They might be telling the truth. Who knows? You know the WWE, all they know how to do is lie. We open up the show. We got that circus clown, Kid Rock, introducing SummerSlam, started in 1988, and here we are now. Man, I thought with Detroit, I thought this show was going to be a knockout, home run. Cats was going to do work. We was going to get it classic. Man, this was a dud through and through. And we kicked off the show after that clown Kid Rock was trying to welcome us in. We kicked off the show with these two right here. Now, these two circus clowns was talking about trying to go viral. That's all I kept hearing. Ricochet said he gonna make Logan Paul go viral. Logan Paul said he gonna make him go viral, and he's gonna make his fiance say, and the winner is Logan Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, I expected these two to give us a classic. They did nothing. A generic spot monkey, foolish, I don't know what, just bull jive, dumb crap. I'm watching them, and they claimed it was in the Performance Center trying to give us a classic. They gave us a generic Monday Night Raw match. If this was on Monday Night Raw, I would have said it was a decent match on Monday Night Raw. But the fact that this is what they gave us at the pay-per-view, I've seen better from both of them, I guess. And it's funny how I've seen so many people capping online, talk about that this was Ricochet's best match. Stop the cap. Stop the freaking cap. Both of these cats right here, man, I expected so much better from the both of them. They tried to do a little something. Ricochet with the hurt ribs and Logan Paul just taking his sweet time and all of this. And the way how the match ended, I actually would have accepted the finish if it was just him by himself, where the referee wasn't paying attention and he pulled the brass knuckles out of his trunks, and some random circus clown that we don't even know who he was. Referee was not paying attention to Logan Paul. He was too busy looking at Ricochet. Some circus clown came out the woodwork and gave Logan Paul a set of brass knuckles. I'm saying, well, that's the finish right there. You know he ain't losing now. Whacked Ricochet in the head, and he won. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that tells me? That tells me that Logan Paul really is not ready. You see these circus clowns in the IWC who've been capping for this cat, saying that this circus clown right here is ready for the big leagues. He's not. That's basically what the story is. The story is that he did all this foolishness, that he's going to embarrass Ricochet and that he's going to make him go viral and all this foolishness, and he did absolutely nothing. This was a nothing burger for me. Nothing. And you know what? It's a shame on Ricochet's part too, because Ricochet looked terrible too. I said, what the heck are these clowns doing? Ricochet gets laid out by the brass knucks. He can't beat him fair and square. And he gets out of there and he gets on the plane to get there so he can watch his brother win against Nate Diaz later on in the night. They started the show off on a sour note. Now, the right outcome was, like I predicted, Logan Paul was going over. And I had a feeling he probably was going to find a way to cheat. The deal is, who the clown was that gave him the brass knuckles? And you seen the clown. He looked like an extra. He looked like one of the circus clowns that be holding up the dog on cameras and stuff. Gave him a brass knuckle. I said, who is this clown? Who is this? It's just some random Joe Schmo that, like I said, looked like he be holding up the cameras, and he said, hey, Ricochet, take this brass knuckles. Nothing. These clowns did nothing for me. And I said, now, this is the opener. This is what I hate, when clowns put expectations on matchups, and you claim that you're going to deliver, and you don't. It's trash. It's absolutely trash. The right man won. I'm not going to sit up here and say that the match was trash because the wrong man won. No, Logan Paul went over. He needed to win. Ricochet ain't doing nothing. So I knew that Logan Paul was winning. It's just the way how the match ended for me. I said, and all this, we're going viral, we're going viral, they did nothing. So these clowns that's in the IWC, this captain, going to tell you that this matchup was fantastic. It's smoking crack. This match was terrible. And listen, for the idiots that's going to tell me now if this match was in AEW, you will be saying, no, I would say the match was trash in AEW too. Alright? This match was terrible, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying, like, an opener is what's supposed to get us, it's supposed to set the tone for the rest of the show. I was sitting up and saying that these circus clowns might steal the show. This was one of the matches I was looking forward to, and they both failed. This is an L on both of them. This is an L on Logan Paul, and this is an L on Ricochet. So if Cass is going to come against me and be mad, oh well, just be mad all you want. This matchup was terrible. Listen, I've seen better matches from the both of them. And Ricochet and Logan Paul look like crap to me. They look like trash. They tried to do a little cup. They tried to do some spots. It just didn't. It fell flat. It fell flat. Listen, I was waiting. I said, all right, guys, pick it up. When are you going to pick it up? And they tried, but then they just fell right back down. And so Logan Paul said, screw this. I can't beat this cat on my own. Let me go talk to some random Joe Schmo that's in my Prime group, Hey, put some brass knuckles on my hand, and so I can knock this fool out. That's basically what the matchup was, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So then we get to the second matchup, which was, let me tell y'all something. Cody versus Brock Part 3. Everything would have made a whole lot more sense if these two circus clowns would have basically said that the matchup we're going to have is a last man standing match. And if Brock would have explained exactly why he beat the brakes off of him in the first place. I'm beating the brakes off of you because, number one, you don't belong here. This is my yard. I run this. Two, you automatically get joined in to go against Roman when I can't go against him no more. So therefore, I've been paid off by you know who. Let me beat the brakes off your tail in the last man standing match to show you that you really don't belong here. Cody would have said, "Con, let's go ahead, let's do it." You know? Nope. These two circus clowns basically gave us a last man standing match without basically saying it's a last man standing match. Now, if they would have acknowledged that this was a last man standing match, I wouldn't have been hard on them. But the fact that we got last man standing match rules in a non-last man standing match, the fact that Cody picked up the steel steps and used it against Brock with my referee looking dead at him, I said, well, Cody just lost the match. Because this is a regular match with regular stipulations, correct? Everything would have made sense of this match. The fact that Brock was beating the brakes off of him, he kept throwing him out the ring, kept F5ing him through tables, kept German suplexing him all over the place. And referee kept counting, almost getting to 10. He kept crawling his behind back in there. You know how dramatic Cody is. I said if this was the last man standing match, I actually would have said, you know what, this was a great match between them. I would have actually gave them nothing but props. But instead that this was a last man standing match without it being a last man standing match and getting a clear understanding of what the heck these two clowns were doing, it's an epic fail. Another fail. So check this out. Cody tried to do the submission hold that Brock does every time he breaks somebody's arm. He actually did that on Brock. And with him doing it twice, he found a way to do the crossroads. He did the crossroads 3 times, and he pinned Brock. And guess what? After the matchup, Brock looked at him, he headbutted him, and then he shook his hand and said, you made it. You made it to the next level. So now a lot of people was, because we kept hearing, oh, Bray Wyatt is coming. Oh, Randy Orton is coming. Nothing. That's it. And let me tell y'all something. Cody came out there looking like he looked like he was trying to be Captain America with that goofy outfit he had on, that goofy robe. Just goofy as possible. I said, man, this clown right here. Ladies and gentlemen, what took place in the main event is letting y'all know dang well that he's going to win at WrestleMania. It's a foregone conclusion. You know what's going to happen. But like I said, man, if they would have told you this was a last man standing match, I actually would have been cool with everything that happened in the matchup. I would have been fine with it. I would have had no issue or nothing. But this was a regular match, and they tried to make it as if it was a last man standing match without even making it. Stupid. But again, this is the E. The E don't know what they're doing. They just do idiotic booking for who knows what. Cody wins. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all about to split y'all wigs on this one. The Slim Jim Battle Royal with all the circus clowns that really much didn't have nothing going on for them. You had all these circus clowns pulling up, from AJ Styles to Karrion Kross to LA Knight to Sheamus to Shoes Please to Imperium to the original Bro. I mean, The Miz, Grayson Waller. You had all these clowns pulling up, correct? And then out of nowhere, MVP came out of nowhere. I started busting up laughing. I said, oh, dang. Y'all telling me Omos finna win this thing? I was like, man, if Omos would have won, I would have been on the floor crying, laughing. So make a long story short, all of those, Bronson Reed, all those clowns got, Tommaso Ciampa, Shinsuke Nakamura, all those clowns got eliminated. All of them. And it came down to the two that we seen from SmackDown. I'm sitting up and saying, now, why the heck are they trying to make it predictable? Because LA Knight beat Sheamus on Friday night. That tells me that LA Knight's not going to win. LA Knight won this match, ladies and gentlemen. He won. This was by far, I want to say this was like the loudest the crowd was all night. The Slim Jim Battle Royal, ladies and gentlemen, may have just been the match of the night for me. And y'all know how much I hate Battle Royals because I see them all day on AEW television. This Battle Royal was, listen, entertaining like a mug, clowns looking goofy as possible, and the man himself went over. I ain't got no issue with this. This was by far my match of the night. LA Knight gets it done. Yeah, he got it done. Now, it's the follow-up. What the heck do they do with LA Knight moving forward? I don't know. But, heck, Austin Theory was even in this. Esteban, all of them was in it. But LA Knight won. And I said, wow, everybody been complaining. Everybody been wanting this man to go over. And he went over. Great. Excellent. This is by far the bright spot of the whole night for me. Now we about to break down the rest of this show because from that point on, everything else on this show, we got Ronda versus Shayna, MMA rules match. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought this matchup was decent. My deal is, I think if this was like in a fight pit match, I think it probably would have played off a little bit better. Shayna won, ladies and gentlemen. Shayna choked out Ronda. And I don't know what this means for Ronda. I don't know if this is the end of Ronda. I don't know. But she took her out. She put her to sleep. Choked out. Shayna Baszler wins. Like I said, I probably would have liked this matchup just a little bit more if they was in their fight pit. But I heard fans would say this is boring and people were walking out on it and everything. I'm like, hey, it is what it is on that. But for the fans who are tired of Ronda, they want her to go do what she want to do. Hey, she's free. She's a free woman now. If she's not sticking around, kudos on her. Great. Shayna Baszler, great. Excellent. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the IC Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I respect the mess out of both of these cats right here. I honestly do. This matchup was boring. This might have been one of the, listen, a lot of these matchups moving, was just, boring. Gunther and Drew tried. They honestly tried, but it's nothing. And you knew Drew wasn't losing. He wasn't winning. He wasn't winning the title because they put out there Gunther has to pass Honky Tonk. They talked about everybody who had a nice streak and who ended a streak. They said, does Drew McIntyre end Gunther's streak today? No, he didn't. Gunther retained his championship. And I say the one man who's going to beat him is Shoes Please. Chad Gable. Chad Gable is set that man up. And it's not going to be on the pay-per-view. Set him up to beat Gunther. WWE, you know how to do it. But don't have him wrestling this man every week for the next several weeks. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Make it interesting. Y'all know when y'all want to tell something great, y'all could tell something great. Don't make it boring and don't make it predictable. And I don't. Because then you're going to make Shoes Please boring and tiresome and cats don't want to see it no more. Because you're going to do the same crap over and over again. Keep him and keep Shoes Please either have them where they confront one another, but do not have them where they're going to wrestle every week on Raw. Because you're not going to want to see the matchup when the eventual thing happens. Just not. But, like I said, these two, man, they tried, man. But the matchup was boring. It was very boring. Then we get to Seth versus Finn Balor for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the whole storyline is Finn Balor he's been fumigating because what happened to him 7 years ago at SummerSlam when he beat Seth Rollins for the Universal title, but he had to relinquish it because the shoulder was messed up. So he came out there. He had 7 years tattooed or written on his doggone arm. So I'm sitting up here like everything that transpired on Monday Night Raw, I'm sitting up here saying, and then Seth Rollins going on these goofy interviews talking about, oh yeah, I owe Finn Balor because he trained my wife and I really owe him. Oh, do you owe him? You owe him, right? I don't know. How about you put him over? How about you put that young man over? Now, when it comes to these two, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think this matchup was a little bit better than the Money in the Bank match. The Money in the Bank match, that was trash. This match, though, with all the stuff that was happening and how they were constantly doing each other's moves on each other and all of that, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of invested because I'm sitting up and saying to myself, okay, this is Finn Balor's time. Like, this is his time, right? Out comes Damian Priest. I said, okay, here we go. He comes out there, and the refs is looking at him. Seth's looking at him. And Finn Balor's like, oh, no, man. Like, bro, what are you doing? He said, don't pay no attention to me. You pay attention to him, right? Pretty much the same exact thing that happened in Money in the Bank. But this time, here comes Rhea and here comes Dominic. They come out of nowhere. So now it's a 4-on-1 game, right? He told Finn Balor, take the briefcase, use it, lay this man out, because the referee is too busy paying attention to Rhea and Dominic over there while Seth is paying attention. That man said, no, that's not the plan. That's plan B. We're sticking with plan A. Man. Judgment Day screwed over Finn Balor. This time the whole group did. And Seth Rollins took advantage of that and Finn Balor lost again. Seth Rollins retained. He retained the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, what happened to that foolishness you said, Seth, that you owe this man? You owe him. What you do? You owed him nothing. You didn't put him over. He put you over again because of the clowns in Judgment Day. A joke. A freaking joke. Judgment Day has turned into one of the biggest. They had potential of being a great faction, but because they've been overpushed, they on every show. They on Raw, they on NXT, they on SmackDown, overpushed, and guess what? Finn Balor gets screwed over by the overpushed group. Now what? Now he walks away with nothing. Ruined. His moment has been ruined again. His moment has been ruined again, ladies and gentlemen. Now what? Judgment Day ain't nothing but jokes, ladies and gentlemen. They are jokes. They all are jokes, man. Rhea's a joke. Dominic's a joke. Damian Priest is starting to turn into a joke. And Finn Balor, man, a joke. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Matchup was good. It's just Finn Balor should have went over. He should have went over, man. And if you wasn't going to have that man cash in, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm so over Judgment Day, ladies and gentlemen. They listen, WWE found a way to screw over a great faction. I thought the Judgment Day was great getting together. They got together because of Edge. Then they kicked Edge out. Then they got Dominic and added him to the group. They was a cool group. It was a cool, like, young, up-and-coming group. They was doing something. But now they overexposed. They all over the place. And guess what WWE? They do it. They screwed this man over again. Finn Balor got screwed over by his own squad again. Looked like a joke again. Seth Rollins, oh, I'm hurt. I got aches and pains. And you know what? I didn't talk about it. Seth Rollins looked like a complete circus clown with that goofy, whatever the heck he had on. Just looked like he left RuPaul's Drag Race or something. I'm sorry. That's what he looked like. He looked like he be getting his clothes straight from RuPaul. Just goofy. Just a clown. And you decided to do that to Finn Balor. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I'm listen, for the people who think I just hate on this company, I don't. But when the company continues to do bullshit booking, I'm calling the stuff out. I'm not finna sit up here and act like the stuff is great. It's not. It's stupid. And then here we go. The stupidest result of the entire show. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca for the WWE Women's Championship. This matchup was carried by Bianca. Bianca carried both of them. Charlotte Flair over here, they ain't there injuring Bianca. The whole game is to protect your opponent, correct? This girl, quote unquote, injured her, quote unquote. So Bianca left, right? So now it's Asuka and Charlotte trying to do something. Man, Charlotte, but my goodness. Listen. Man, I don't know what to say about Charlotte anymore. For people who are going to sit up here and cape for this woman and act like she's the best thing since sliced bread, you're smoking some serious crack. You probably got a hold of that crap that TK snort all day long. Charlotte Flair is terrible, ladies and gentlemen. This woman was botching all over the place. And listen, normally Asuka can balance things out and Bianca can balance things out, but with Charlotte doing all the stupid stuff and Asuka trying and she looked just discombobulated and Bianca trying to do stuff. Listen, man, Bianca out here trying her best. She's trying her best to carry this matchup. And guess what the E decides to do? The E rewards her with embarrassing her for the second straight time at SummerJoke. What am I talking about? You know I'm about to go in on this. So, Bianca quote unquote leaves. She comes back. You know the whole script. When you're hurt, you come back. The paramedics that carry you off. You know the script. How many times we've seen this in wrestling? This storyline has been done over and over and over again. She come back on a hobble knee, come out here trying to do moves and all this stuff. Asuka had came out of nowhere with the blue mist, spit because Charlotte had Bianca in the submission hold. Asuka came out of nowhere with the blue mist, spit it all up in Charlotte's face. Bianca picked it up, did the KOD, and she won. I said, wait a minute. I said, ain't nowhere in the world I had Bianca winning because, number one, Bianca didn't even need to win this match. She didn't. Bianca has had her opportunity. She shouldn't have won. I would have had Asuka retain because I knew what was coming. Here come Io. Here come Bayley. They came running out of nowhere. I said, oh, boy, here we go. I said, is Bayley going to do what I said? Because I've been sitting up and saying that Io was going to be the first one to unsuccessfully cash in. Nope. Bianca had the title for 2 seconds, and guess what? Io successfully cashes in on Bianca. Now, some of y'all be like, oh, man, say, here you go, you finna start tripping. Yeah, you know I am finna start tripping. Because Bianca did all that carrying, and you go out your way to embarrass her like that. One, I would have never had her win in the first place. I know y'all love the so-called quote-unquote shock factor, but that was stupid. She's hurt. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm finna have her win that thing. Because if you know she's going to quote-unquote get cashed in on, you know what you... Listen, we done been down this road so many times, over and over again. I tell y'all circus clowns every day. For the people who actually understand and know what I'm talking about, salute to y'all. But the cats who sit up here and want to buck dance and shuck and jive and sit up here and accept this idiotic stuff, this idiotic booking, you on your own. I've been telling y'all how this company does us. This company reels us in. They give us a little prize or a little trickle it like that, and then they cut the legs right in front of you. Bianca ain't need to get that. One, she didn't need to pin Charlotte to win the title. She done already had title runs. I'm not finna go out my way to have her where she didn't carry the matchup just to embarrass her like that. No, you smoking crack. Now listen, I'm glad Io got the job done. I just hate how she got the job done. So for people who finna sit up here and tell me that I'm tripping about Io winning, no. I'm glad she won because what I've been saying, I said she wasn't successfully going to cash in. She did. Excellent. I just hate how the situation happened because it automatically makes Bianca look like a clown. And the E knows what they're doing. They do this on a regular basis. They constantly showcase that your kind are a joke. Why you think I ain't getting behind Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits? I'm not getting behind that because I already know they're going to build them up and they're going to turn them into jokes. I know the script. I know the freaking script with this garbage company. This garbage company does this crap daily. I didn't had it up to here with these exclusive companies. I didn't had it up to here, man. They didn't have to do Bianca like that. But you know, fans gonna say, "Oh man, this is part of the story. This is fantastic." No, it ain't. I don't give a crap because guess what? What they gonna do? Bianca gonna disappear, and then guess what? She gonna come back, and guess what? She gonna win the WrestleMania, and guess what? It's gonna mean nothing. Nothing. Reasons why Trinity Fatu and Mercedes disappeared because they knew the script. They knew how Triple H, Vince McMahon, and all those circus clowns in the back get down. But for some reason, Bianca want to stay there and get her little butter biscuits on. If Bianca likes to be treated like that, so be it. If this is what she likes, cool. She can stay there and get treated like a circus clown all she wants. Like I say, the matchup, man, the woman did all the work. She did all the carrying, and you go out your way to embarrass her like that. I'm like, I done had enough. I tell y'all every day, I just hate us being a part of this company sometimes because I already know the script. I know how things are going to play out. And I hate it because they know that they got so many of y'all wrapped around their little fingers. They got so many of y'all. So many of y'all going to sit up here and shuck and jive and act like everything is all good. No, sir. You ain't getting no buck dancing from me. You can cut the buck dancing, cut the butter biscuits, cut the shucking and jive. Speaking of shucking and jive, oh my goodness. Booker T. That fool was cooning harder than that thing today. Or last night. That pre-show, man, he was buck dancing his tail off. Then they had the doggone situation where they had the community folk with the charities coming out there, and they had Titus O'Neil and Byron Saxon up there. I said, man, here they go with they ungenuine sales. Ain't genuine at all. For the people who wonder what I'm talking about, WWE claimed that they was giving out charity for the less unfortunate and all that stuff, and I think they only gave them $23,000. It ain't genuine. It's not. They don't give a crap about us. They never will. You looking at my face, am I stuttering? No. They don't. We just don't. I tell y'all every day, we just did a shuck and jive. We just did a shuck and jive and get embarrassed left and right. This is why I don't really want us in these pictures because I already know the script. I know the freaking script. And when I seen that foolishness, I said, I just knew it. I said, Bianca gonna get it. I knew it. I said, she getting cashed in on. I just know it. I know she getting cashed in on. Man, I did. That's why I didn't want her to win. I did not want her to win that title because I already know the script. I knew it. I knew the script was coming. I knew the buck dancing crap was finna happen. The stupid, idiotic crap. And guess what? And I hate that it takes away from an excellent situation for Io Sky. I hate it. I hate that they do this stuff. I hate that this company does this crap on a regular basis. That should have been a beautiful moment for Io Sky. A beautiful moment. I'm glad that she got it done. I just hate how the situation happened. And word on the street is Kairi Sane is coming back. You listen, if they book her great, fine. If they book her great. But I just hate how this situation happened. I really do. I just hate it because it was at a vulnerable state. The fact that you decided to put her in that position. You know dang well she hurt. You know she can't do anything. Oh, and then Dakota Kai came out of nowhere and Damaged Goods, quote unquote, celebrate. So if you think about it, watch Circus Clown say, well, this is long-term storytelling because remember last year they got together after Bianca beat Becky and that Damaged Goods have been nothing more than damaged goods. And now you want to go and you want to do this? No, terrible. I would have preferred Asuka retain, Io cash in on Asuka, and then, hey, we off to the races. Bianca didn't need to win that match. We know dang well Charlotte didn't need to win that match. Neither one of them to win. Asuka should have retained that title. Don't give a crap what nobody got to say. Asuka's title reign has been trash, but you should have let her finish up. Then you have Io cash in on Asuka. Now guess what? Now if you want to run Asuka versus Io, great. You can do it. Because it makes sense. Guess what? Bianca's disappearing. We're not going to see her for a long time. And who knows? Charlotte might disappear. Because you know that ain't that what she likes to do? She like to come back for the big pay-per-views, disappear. Come back for the big pay-per-views, disappear. Ain't that what she likes to do nowadays? Great. And then we get to the main event. I was looking forward to this matchup so much. I wanted to see how things were going to play out. Now, I knew Jay wasn't winning. I told y'all exactly what was going to happen. I told you what was going to happen. Now, here's the deal. Not a single big name clown pulled up. No Randy Orton, no Bray Wyatt, no Rock, no Rikishi. Heck, Fruity Pebbles didn't even show up. Nothing. But I'm going to be honest with you. This video package that they constantly kept showing about the whole ribbon thing that they put around their neck, the chain, whatever the thing is called. It's called the Falute. It started with L. That video package where they paid homage to the elders, to the Anawa twins or whatever they call themselves. Then they showed Rock. They showed Yokozuna. They showed Rikishi. They showed Umaga. And then they finished up showing Roman Reigns. That video package, listen, I tell y'all every day, even when I get on their case for being on the white supremacy mode they like to be on, those circus clowns in the E are the kings of the video packages. That video package that they showcase on SmackDown, then they showed it again tonight before the match, that video package is great. I love that whole thing. That thing was great. I loved it all. They showed all of them. I mean, the Wild Samoans, that's what they call themselves. It was great. I love that video package. Excellent. We get to the matchup, man. I noticed this about Roman matches. Roman matches always seem to start slow, and then as time goes on, they start to pick up. Ladies and gentlemen, Detroit was half asleep throughout the entire matchup. Matter of fact, they was asleep for majority of this show. I tell you what they was awake for. They was awake for Cody. They was awake for LA Knight. They was awake for when EO won. But they was asleep for the majority of the show. I said, man, Detroit failed tonight. They failed. I don't know what, like, you 60K almost up in there and y'all failed like that? Come on now, make some noise. Them clowns was asleep. They were asleep during this doggone tribal combat match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what was the rules that was intact for the tribal combat? The rules was, quote unquote, nobody in the family could get involved, correct? It's blood and blood. May the best Samoan win. Ain't that what it was? Solo messed around and got involved. Cats flying through tables. Cats getting whacked with chairs. Cats spearing one another. Cats jumping off doggone turnbuckles. Then Roman messed around and speared Solo. So Solo looked at him like, hey, man, what was that all about? So while those two was going at it, Jay with the super kicks. I mean, ain't nothing like a super kick party. Everybody super kick. Usos super kick, Young Bucks super kick. Everybody super kick. That's all everybody know how to do is just super kick, super kick, super kick. So we keep going. Look like the match is done. Look like Jay gonna win. I'm telling you, I'm watching this. I said, you know he not gonna win. Next thing you know, a dude in a black hoodie with a bandana on. And people are like, wait a minute, who is that? I said, y'all know who that is. Y'all know who it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is. Don't be goofy. He took it off. And Michael Cole and Corey Graves are on commentary just acting a fool. They were on commentary cutting up. What is going on? What? Jimmy, why? Why, Jimmy? Why? He pulled that man. He was finna pin him. He pulled him, and then he super kicked him. Then he threw him back in the ring. Roman laid him out, and he retains. And so that's how SummerJoke 2023 goes off. And ladies and gentlemen, I walked away unimpressed. Crowd was terrible. Most of the matches were boring as heck. We got the true colors once again. WWE showing their true colors. Salute to Cindy Lockport for a banger. Old school song, True Colors. That song bangs. Don't give a care what nobody got to say. WWE continues to constantly show their true colors, how they get down, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is, man. SummerJoke 2023. A joke. I coined the name SummerJoke for a reason. I got a joke tonight. I walked away with this pay-per-view 5 out of 10. That's the highest I'm going. Mid-show. Trash crowd. Terrible, terrible, terrible finishes. What else you want me to say? You want me to sit up and shuck and jive and act like the show was a 10 out of 10? You smoking crack. I ain't got nothing else to say about that. Now, before I talk about AEW Collision, I want to give my thoughts about Big E's situation. Big E's situation right now seems to be an unfortunate situation. I get on here and I talk about how the New Day be cooning all day long. But I always say that I respect all three members because all three of them are great wrestlers. Big E, fantastic wrestler. Kofi Kingston, fantastic wrestler. And the one who I think is the most underrated out of all three of them is Xavier Woods. Big E's situation with him, with the situation that happened with him 2 years ago with Ridge Holland, doctors have told him that they don't think it's a wise decision for him to get back in the ring. So he's considered thinking about possibly joining the commentary team. So I don't know. I was sitting up here thinking that if he was cleared to go, maybe he can pull up at the Royal Rumble 2024. But that looked like that's out the door. And I'm just going to have to come to it that, you know what, man, as much as I would like to see him get back in the ring, if him not wrestling anymore is a wise decision to keep him healthy and keeping him around, by all means, it's a very unfortunate situation. Very unfortunate. But I can say the man can say he actually won it. I know it was a token WWE title run. Token up the butt. Token. But you can't take it away. The man actually won it. He is in the history books, even though he got destroyed by who know who. Every time when somebody black win a championship, what does Vince and Triple H call upon? Brock Lesnar to destroy him. That's why a lot of people associate Cody Rhodes with us, because they say, well, Cody beating up another black man. No, that's just the black WWE demographic, just buck dancing. Anyway, yeah, like I said, if he can't wrestle anymore, that's unfortunate, man. You know, I like I said, man, look, I tell y'all all the time, I would never be a fan of the New Day gimmick. For y'all fools that want me to sit up here and act like the New Day gimmick is everything but sliced bread, no. The New Day gimmick is nothing more than a racial buck dancing, everything that goes against FBA. It goes against all the time. Everything that they do is nothing more than shucking and jiving. That's all that gimmick was. The wrestling, great. The buck dance with all the twerking and the buck in the eyes and the cereal and the booty-o's and the pant. No, I'm good. All that buck, that twerk. No, I'm good. I'm good, man. But that's that. So, once again, I coined the name SummerJoke for a reason. It's a joke. SummerSlam 2023 was a complete joke. Now, if you come in my comment section telling me that SummerSlam was a fantastic show, I'm just going to look at you like you crazy. SummerSlam 2023 was a joke through and through. And that's on them. That's on the performers themselves, and that's on the bookers. I expected a better show. I expected to at least give the show a 7 out of 10. I was going to be generous. If certain things that took place on this show happened, I probably would have gave this show a 7 out of 10. If the match quality, if cats actually decided to show up and work. Because all these matches, a lot of these cats really didn't even try. Charlotte didn't try. Asuka didn't try. Bianca tried. She tried to do a little something. Seth and Finn, I give them props for what they was able to work with. I give them props. Gunther and Drew was terrible. Ronda and Shayna, I think, would have been a little bit better if it was in the fight pit match. The Slim Jim Battle Royal, I got to give them props. Very entertaining match. Omos pulled up. Cass was out here doing what they need to do. But the main homie himself, LA Knight, got the job done. Fantastic. If the rules was a last man standing match, I might have said that Cody and Brock was a fantastic match. But outside of that, it wasn't. It was a stupid match with just stupid. It was just stupidity. And Cody out here over dramatic behind. And then the trend centers, that's what they call themselves. We're going viral. No, they didn't. They put everybody to bed. They put everybody to sleep. And then, like I say, the main event, Tribal Combat matches, it was weak. It was very weak. This might have been the weakest match of both Jay and Roman's whole career together. I expected a whole lot more chaos And check it out. Roman actually was bleeding, ladies and gentlemen. So we did get a little color. He was bleeding on his arm and everything. So, hey, we did get some color, but I expected a little bit more. But we already knew what was going to happen. We knew that Jimmy was going to be the reason why Jey Uso didn't win. Now, before I go into a collision, I want to say this. You got your matchup for WrestleMania. You got Jay versus Jimmy. The problem is, knowing how these clowns are going to do, Jay versus Jimmy going to take place at Payback, ladies and gentlemen. I know the script. Jay versus Jimmy will happen at Payback. I would actually milk this, since you want to quote-unquote milk the bloodline storyline, milk Jay versus Jimmy. Keep these two where one of them was ready to fight while the other one ain't ready to fight. Play this thing all the way. Hey, check it out. Remember, look, I hate to say, try to copy somebody, but try to take a page out of what you did with Ray and Dominic. Dominic was ready to beat the brakes off his father for a long time, but Ray didn't want to give it to him until we got to WrestleMania. Play it up like that. Play it up until we get to WrestleMania out there in Philly, and let Jay and Jimmy tear the house down. But I know them. I know what's going to happen. We getting part one at Payback. I know the script, because you know they eat. They love matches and rematches all day. That's all they know. They don't know nothing else. That's it. So, I ain't really got nothing else to say about SummerJoke. Now let's go ahead and break down AEW Collision. This is the 7th episode of this show. Collision, ladies and gentlemen, overall was a very good show. Was there anything on this show that I may have not been too fond of? Wait till we get there. I'm going to break down everything that happened on this show. We got some clarity about more matches going into All In. I loved it. Heck, we even got some storylines that might trickle from All In going into All Out. That's what you want, ladies and gentlemen. Wrestling TV is about the story build-up. You can do all the flips and dives and the grapplings and the submission crap at the pay-per-view. On wrestling TV, it's the story-driven storylines that drive everything. It's what gets cast to tune into the product. It's the storytelling. This is the thing that AEW needs to get better at doing. You understand what I'm saying? So, we get the opener. Now, as the show came on, we got promos from Punk. We got promos from Ricky. We got promos from FTR. Promos from Big Bill and Brian Cage and Prince Nana. And, listen, Cass was ready to go. Cass was ready. Get the theme song. You already know Elton John. You already know how the script go. So, first matchup. FTR taking on Big Bill, Brian Cage for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. I told y'all this matchup was going to suck. It didn't suck at all. FTR just seems to know how to have great matches with whoever they get in the ring with. Big Bill and Brian Cage didn't look bad at all. They found a way to work together with them. And the crowd out there, let's see, what part of South Carolina was they coming from? Give me a second. Let me see. Let's see. Give me something. Greenville, South Carolina. Thank you. Greenville, South Carolina was a fantastic crowd. They was hot all night. I say that's what you want. One thing about Collision, it seems like these crowds have been fantastic. I think Calgary was the only one that was kind of weak. But for the most part, everybody has been fantastic. I love it. That's what you want. I don't know what the heck with the clowns in the WWE land was doing. Y'all paid all that money to sit up there and sit on your hands and knees and be quiet. Heck, if you didn't like something, if you thought something was terrible, just say it's terrible. Make some noise. Listen, people was sharing videos during the main event. Fans just doing one of these numbers. Look at me. This is what they was doing. While the beatdowns were going on, they were doing one of these numbers. I'm telling you, crowds make or break pay-per-views. I'm telling you, crowds, they make or break a pay-per-view. Heck, they make or break a wrestling show. You know what I'm saying? But Prince Nana out here with the facial expression. Now, that's another thing I forgot to talk about. So, forgive me for this. During the Roman Reigns Jey Uso match, Paul Heyman was doing a fantastic job. You know how he does when he gets the facial expressions and he just oversells everything. He did great. I give him props on that. So, all the crap that was going on in this matchup was the oversizing of Big Bill and Brian Cage. And Dax, somebody's, let me see. That was his mom, yeah. His mama and his wife, I think, was sitting ringside. That's who it was. So his family was sitting ringside. So he is it Dax or is it? I think it was Wheeler, Cash Wheeler. Cash Wheeler's mama was sitting ringside. That's what it was. And so all the crap that was going on, basically they was using their size to outnumber them. But what does FTR know how to do? They take advantage of that. So when somebody tries to overpower them because they have a size, FTR says, we coming through and we going to make mincemeat of how you doing. That's what they did. They took advantage of them by trying them. So this is what they do. Big Bill and Brian Cage was like, we bigger than you. FTR said, nah, that don't mean nothing to us. Don't mean anything. Y'all might be able to overpower us because you're bigger than us, but don't mean anything. Sure enough, guess what happened? FTR did work, finished the deal, and they pinned them. I said, well, I'm glad I'm standing to be corrected. Remember, I was sitting up here saying that I ain't give a crap about this from last week's review, and FTR went in here and handled the business. Now, right after the matchup, they got on the mic and they said, our career started right here in Carolina. 10 years. We've been doing this for a long time. And they said everywhere we went, we always held the goal. It didn't matter what promotions we did. We always held the goal. And they said, ladies and gentlemen, we got some unfinished business to do. At Wembley Stadium, excuse me right now, at Wembley Stadium, we want the Young Bucks. I said, uh-oh, part 3, ladies and gentlemen. Now the question you had to ask yourself with the Young Bucks coming back. Fans have been wondering, is the tag team division about to get revamped? I still want Juice Robinson and Jay White to win those tag team titles. But if TK and them want to do something, if they want to go ahead and put the tag team titles back on the Young Bucks, fine. But I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. They called them out. They gave a great promo. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember what they said. Certain people didn't want to quote-unquote work Collision. Now, guess what? Now, what everybody been talking about. Everything is starting to come together. Everything is like, one. Remember, they said, certain people don't want to work this show. Now look, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. This is the type of stuff I like. This is the stuff I like when the storylines line together, when all the drama that everybody claimed that was causing beef and all that stuff, when the beef and the drama happens on TV, not backstage, not the backstage politics that everybody in the IWC gets triggered by and seems to only report because that's all they know. They don't know anything else, and they pray for the downfall of said company because that's all they know. Meanwhile, the other company that we just saw put on a terrible pay-per-view. I don't get it, man. That's why I said I would never understand cats how they feel about a certain company and they pray for the downfall. They sit up here all day and say this company gonna fail because of this and they gonna do that, they gonna fail. Well, guess what? The company just put on a great show. Again, they about to sell out that doggone stadium out there in Wembley. Yeah, drama go on. Drama go on down there every locker room. But it's funny. Vince McMahon's house just got raided by the feds and didn't nobody talk about that. We was talking about LaFesto for the last three days. We was talking about this woman who ain't working there right now. Yet Vince McMahon's house got raided by the freaking feds. This shows you where people's priorities are. Listen, I talked about it all. I talked about his behind getting raided by the feds, and I talked about the foolishness that's going on in the AEW women's locker room. Because it's straight foolishness if you ask me. So, we get Tony Schiavone talking. Hold on, let's see. Oh, yeah, we get a video package of CM Punk's real world title. Thought it was good. Basically letting y'all know that he is the quote-unquote real world champion. We know he not. Tony Schiavone talks with Juice Robinson with his Jay White cardboard cutout. And he says this crazy line. He's talking about, if you're hot, you're hot. And if you're not, you're not. I said that's exactly what we got from watching SummerJoke. SummerJoke was not. AEWCollision, yeah, it was. And so they pretty much talked about how they finna run and rampant and beat the snot out of everybody. Jay White was talking, and then the guns came out of nowhere. Listen, the Bullet Club Gold have won me over, ladies and gentlemen. I love this group. I would love to see all 4 members draped in gold. I don't know how we're gonna get there. Sorry about that. It was one of my folders falling down. Don't pay no attention to that. I would love for, like I said, all 4 of these cats to have gold. I don't know how TK is going to accomplish that. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But we need to figure out how to get those 4 members draped in gold and have fools chasing them, because the chase is the best part of wrestling. Don't care what promotion it is, the chase is always the best part. We get the women's matchup. We get Chris Statlander, the TBS champion, versus Mercedes Martinez for the TBS title. Ladies and gentlemen, out of all 3 women's matches we got tonight, even with a botch from Chris, this was by far the best women's match all night. And I'm not even sitting up here hating on what WWE tried, because Ronda and Shayna tried to do something. Like I said, if they was in that pit, if they was in that fight pit, I think the matchup probably would have flourished a little bit better. And if Charlotte and Asuka would have decided to play along with Bianca, man, that women's triple threat probably would have been a banger. It would have possibly been a banger, but it seemed like Bianca was the only one decided to show up. But look, Chris and Mercedes, man, they did a great job. They tried. Mercedes tried her best, and obviously she looked like she was gonna win. But you know dang well Chris wasn't finna allow that. And ladies and gentlemen, from what it's sounding like, I don't know how we're going to get there, but Chris Statlander may possibly be going against Sorare at All In. And if that's the case, then you know who's winning. You know who's winning. Chris wins. She beats Mercedes. And right afterwards, Mercedes started beating the snot out of Chris. So then, out of nowhere, we just seen her girlfriend. Yeah, for the people who are not aware, Kiera Hogan and Diamante are an item. Diamante came out the wood. I said, I ain't seen Diamante. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. I have not seen Diamante since the matchup she had with Big Swole. It was I forgot what it was. It was a no DQ type of style match. I forgot what it was, but it was on AEW Dark. That was the last time I've seen Diamante. I was like, wait a minute, we got a Diamante sighting? What? Wow. Diamante is on my TV. I ain't seen her in forever. She's back? Where's she been, hiding in catering somewhere? She came out the woodwork and she helped Mercedes beat the snot out of Chris. So Chris has nobody, right? Then Willow came running out there. The crowd went nuts. Willow came running out there. She came to help her out, to aid her out. And the 2 of them ran off. So obviously, that's TK made the matchup next week. We're going to get Mercedes and Diamante versus Chris and Willow. And I got a weird feeling that Willow and Chris are going to lose. Willow's going to get pinned. And Diamante and Mercedes are going to win. I just feel like that's what's going to happen. But TK seen all the drama. People talking about the women's division is terrible. He's seen the drama with Lufisto talking about he doesn't care about the women's division. He said, you know what? We're going to wake up. We're going to have a fantastic show with the ladies on Collision. Oh, he didn't play around, because right afterwards, we got Tony Schiavone talking with the former women's world champion. Now, I've seen cats online talk about Toni Storm should go back to the E and that she being used terribly. Y'all fools is tripping. Y'all listen, y'all cats. The women's division in the E is terrible right now. Why the heck would she decide to go back there and just be a jobber? Y'all tripping, man. I saw y'all cats up here talking all this foolishness. I'm like, man, y'all need to quit. Y'all capping harder than that thing. Cut the capping out. If she went back to the E, she would be nothing more than a jobber. Nothing more than a jobber. I love how she was acting. She was acting vulnerable. She acted disgusted. She actually looked like she just woke up. I kid you not. She looked like she just woke up. She looked like she had curlers in her hair. She looked like, you know what, Tony Schiavone, I'm vulnerable right now. Like you're talking to me as if I still have my title. I don't have my title right now. And I'm very ticked off. I'm very upset. And it's not right. I should have that championship right now. And if I don't get that title back, I don't know what I'm going to do. I love the way how she was acting. I said, ladies and gentlemen, character development. Fools have been crying about characters on this program. That's all I hear in the IWC. That's all I see on YouTube. That's all I see on X Corp, because it's not called Twitter anymore. It's called X Corp. I mean, crying. TK said, all right, cut your crying. We're going to do something. We're finally going to do something with the women. Don't worry. Toni Storm with this vulnerable gimmick, I love it because she lost everything. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Then we get Samoa Joe versus Serpentico. Wasn't even a match. The bell rang. He beat the snot out, man. Obviously, I think the Ring of Honor Championship was on the line. He beat that fool in like 2 seconds, 10 seconds. So then he made him tap. Then Samoa Joe got on the mic, and he pretty much said, everybody know who I am. I'm Samoa Joe. And I am the most must-see Ring of Honor World Champion right now on TV. Now, there's a certain circus clown running around who claim he has a real championship, which obviously is fake as possible. Now, everybody knows when he gets in the ring with me, I just make him look vulnerable. I destroy him. I beat the snot out of him. Well, he claims he does not have a matchup going into, I don't know, Wimbledon. Well, if this fool claims who he think he is, how about he meets me in Wimbledon for that doggone real championship or whatever? So pretty much Samoa Joe is calling that man out again because he thinks that roll-up he got on him wasn't really worth it. So he wants to beat the brakes off of him, but this time in front of everybody out there in London. Hey, I thought the promo was good. Hey, it's going to lead to Samoa Joe versus Punk. Hey, fine. I know a lot of people want to see Punk versus Omega. We're not getting that right now because they want to tell a better storyline. Listen, just like how the Bloodline carried the WWE for 3 years, this whole situation with Punk and the Elite is supposed to carry this company for I don't know how long. And I think what TK and them wants to do, they want to play this thing out. And they know that they have to go a certain place where they never went before. They have to go somewhere where they say, look, the creative brainstorming up here must be on point. If it ain't, fools gonna take a dump on it left and right. And I know cats. I know these cats. I know them. Because that's all they do. That's all their pages are. They hop online just hating all day. We get a video package from Andrade talking about how his mask meant everything to him. And he wasn't going to leave that match last week without getting that mask. And I loved it. And they showcased what happened. I say the video packages showcasing what happened last week. For people who didn't watch Collision last week, I say, ladies and gentlemen, things are riding together. I said, this is when you know you on point. Listen, learn from the kings of the video packages. Whoever's putting these video packages together for AEW, kudos to them. I loved it. I thought, okay, cool. Then we get a sit down with Tony Schiavone and the Acclaim. Anthony Bowens and Max Caster cut the foolish, goofy acting out and got serious as heck about their boy Billy Gunn potentially retiring. Anthony Dane there broke down crying. I loved every moment of it. They said that they talked to him. They told him, hey, man, like, bro, like, we need you, man. We're nothing without you. And he told them, listen, fellas, we had a great run. You guys lost the titles because of me. You lost both matches for the trios titles because of me. I don't belong with you. You guys can survive without me. You guys are thriving without me. And they said, no, bro, we need you. The desperation, the crinkle in Anthony Bowens' voice, Max Kester not sitting up there, ain't no time for no goofy raps. They got serious, and you can feel the emotion. I say, listen, emotion and wrestling go hand in hand. When things get real and cats cut the clowning out, they cut the foolish living out, the goofiness out, you got something on your hand. They said they reached out to that man, and he told them, hey, fellas, you guys can do it on your own. But they feel like they can't. And I love it, man. I say, this is great. This sit-down interview was fantastic. We getting a matchup with them. They're going to be in action next week. We don't know where they go, but I love it. I don't know where they go, but I love this sit-down. The sit-down was excellent. Excellent sit-down with Tony Schiavone and Acclaim. That's why they Acclaim one of my favorite tag teams in AEW. I know there's circus clowns who sit up and tell me that their Acclaim are not over. Yes, they are. They may not be as over as they once was, but they still over in my book. They still over as heck. Anthony Bourne's Masscaster, salute to you fellas. I can't wait to see what goes with you all. So we get House of Black versus Action Andrade, Darius Martin, and a Lee Johnson sighting. Big Shotty Lee has made his AEW television return. I say it's about freaking time. My man done disappeared off the face of the earth. We ain't seen him in forever, and he is back, and he's in a championship title match. Listen, it is what it is. Action Andrade, Darius Martin, Lee Johnson versus Brody King, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews. And before the match started, Julia Hart was banned from ringside, and as she was walking, you saw Lee Johnson. By the way, for people who not know, Lee Johnson and Julia Hart are fiancé. I don't know if they got married yet, but they're item a couple. He was looking at her like, I didn't do anything, and she looked at him and said, "You're not getting none tonight." I busted up laughing. I said, well, it is what it is on that. For the short time that they was able to do, they made something out of this. You're going to get greatness with Malachi Black. You're going to get greatness with Brody King, who, by the way, I'd say this all the time. I was not a Brody King fan when I first seen him. This young man had to grow on me. And listen, he got the barking over. This fool got the barking over. In fact, he got cats in the ring going, hoo, hoo, hoo. Everybody barking like a doggone dog. And then you already know how great Buddy Matthews is. Action Andrade doing work. Darius Martin doing work. And then Lee Johnson coming back from injury. He did some crazy cutter. And you can tell Lee Johnson is a student of Cody Rhodes. The one thing I give Cody Rhodes, he's an excellent teacher. He taught MJF. He taught Lee Johnson. He taught Ricky Starks. He has a host of cats that he done taught. One thing I give him props about, he's a great teacher. He might be a circus clown when it comes to him being in the ring himself, but boy, is he a great teacher. Lee Johnson out here doing moves on folk, but that was not enough. The whole House of Black annihilated this man. A welcome back party. Darius Martin got tossed out. Action Andrade got tossed out. Lee Johnson came back and got annihilated by all three House of Black members by himself, and they won the match. And out of nowhere, TK just had what's my man, Ian and Nigel McGuinness announced that next week they putting their trios titles on the line, but they're not putting their trios titles on the line against anybody. Certain fans who can't stand CM Punk are mad as heck. CM Punk and FTR will be at the opportunity to face them for the trios titles next week. Now, makes no sense to put the trios titles on them. I get why you want to put it on, but don't do it. I'm not doing that. The people who need to be beating House of Black, Andrade, Roosh, and Preston Vance, whenever he decides to show up. Those are your three that need to be taking those titles off of them. I'm serious. It's nobody else to take the trios titles off of them. It's Roosh, it's Preston Vance, and it's Andrade. Nobody else. So I just talked about that. So Tony Schiavone is backstage and he wants to get an understanding of what's going on with Powerhouse Hobbs, QT Marshall, and Harley Cameron. And as soon as he was finna express what's going on, those two circus clowns come out of nowhere. And they want to present him a gift. And they told him that, hey, listen, bro, we're going to make you the guy. We're going to make sure that you're going to go to All Out and you're going to win and get the biggest win of your career. What do you say? And he said, here's this gold chain that's worth so much, and we're going to give it to you. He said, well, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested in being with you guys no more. I'm going to do things on my own. Oh, by the way, thanks for the gift. Walks off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where they're going because, ladies and gentlemen, QT Marshall has beef with Miro, and he still has beef with Hobbs. Well, Hobbs has officially told him, I don't want nothing to do with you clowns no more. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know. Are we doing Miro versus Hobbs? We can't do that because neither one of them need to lose. Hobbs don't need to be taking no L's at the pay-per-view, and we know dang well Miro don't need to take no L's. So I don't know where this is going. I'm not sure. And then right after that, Shavandi got Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and this little girl that obviously looked exactly like Christian. He had his baby girl with him. They talked about how Darby Allin and Nick Cage don't belong with them, and he pretty much, as he was talking, his daughter said, "Hey, can I hold the title?" And then he said, "What do you mean, can you hold the title?" Listen, this dude basically had the security guards get rid of his own kid. I say, Christian is a circus clown through and through, but he is playing his role perfectly. And Luchasaurus, I don't know why he's just standing around taking this. Lucha is taking this as if he is under mind control, as if he's not paying any attention to the cat who's trying to relive his glory days through him. He know dang well he ain't no champion. Why the heck is Luchasaurus up here taking this foolishness? But that's the story. That's the story for circus clowns who ain't been paying attention. That's the story right there. I loved it. I thought this was an excellent segment. Kicking this little girl out, talking about the security and the kid is... Christian's a clown. He's something else, man. But listen, he's brought prestige back to this title. Putting the title on Luchasaurus was the best decision TK and him ever made. I'm telling you, I care more and more about the TNT title than I ever have in a long time. Now, the question is, who do you set up to take that title off of? I don't know. Oh, excuse me, y'all. It's getting late. I'm just about done, but it's getting late. So, Guns come out. Switchblade comes out. Juice Robinson with that doggone cardboard cutout of Jay White. All of them come out. Grand Metalik, formerly known as Grand Metalik. Metalik is in the ring looking like a jobber, ready to get destroyed by Jay White. So the Guns are on commentary with Ian and Nigel McGuinness cutting up, clowning, talking all kind of foolishness during the matchup. Jay White gets in the ring. You know Jay White's a great wrestler. Grand Metalik, decent. And guess what? Jay White handled the business. Took care of the business. They on commentary, acting the fool, cutting up. Juice Robinson, ringside, acting the fool. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the group. Bullet Club Gold are my favorite. As of right now, they my favorite faction in AEW right now. They are my favorite faction. I don't know what it is about them, but it's the charisma from Juice. Jay just playing along, and then the Guns just coming along. That has elevated them boys like it ain't nothing. And they even got an A-Boys chant. Them fans is like, A-Boys, A-Boys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jay White demolishes him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as of right now, Jay White and them don't have no matchup for the card for All In. If I'm Jay and them, I'm gonna have them just basically beat the brakes off everybody in the back. Come out there every week, demand a matchup for doggone All In, and heck, if they don't even get one, pull up at All In, sabotage the show, say we not leaving this arena until we get a matchup or something. You know, make it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Just make it interesting. I love that my boys are together. But just make it interesting, because I know Jay White ain't going without a matchup at All In. I just know he not. Beat the snot out of him. So they run down everything that's going to happen on next Wednesday. Tag team up the butt. TK, I ask you, please, do not open up the show with a tag team match. Open up the show with the Jericho Appreciation Society mandatory meeting story. Open up with that, a talking segment. Open up with that in front of the crowd. That's what you need to open the show up with. We got multiple tag team matches that's happening all night long. I get it. He wants to revamp the tag team division. Give me the talking segment, then you can do everything else. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. We get the matchup. Ricky the Steamboat. Jim Ross is back. He's on commentary. And they told us what's finna happen next week. Tag team match, like I told y'all. Anna Jay gave us a little promo. She's going to face the champion herself, Sheeta. She talked about Sheeta beating her not once, but twice. Well, make it a 3 times. Because ain't nowhere in the world Anna Jay is beating her. I get it. Now, let me tell y'all something. This was the best video package promo I've seen Anna Jay. Matter of fact, this is the best I've heard her sound her entire run. Do more like this with Anna Jay. Anna Jay still needs a lot of work in the ring, but I'm telling you right here, this video package was a major start. She said that I'm not a rookie anymore, Sheeta. And guess what I'm going to do this Wednesday on Dynamite? I'm taking your championship. No, she's not. But I like the effort. I like the promo. I like the believability factor that she was talking. She said, I'm finna come in here. You screwed me over once. You screwed me over twice. You're not going to screw me over a third time, Sheeta. You're not. And that's fact. She will, but I just like her attitude. She came across as believable. Kudos to Anna Jay and whoever else produced that segment for her. Main event. Jim Ross on commentary comes out there. Ricky the Steamboat comes out. Crowd goes nuts. Ian and Nigel sitting out there with him, so it's a 3-man team. CM Punk, fake champion versus Ricky Starks, real championship. This is a decent matchup, and now here's the deal. Now I thought Ricky was going to be the only referee out there, but I understand it. Ricky can't do everything he was. He was out there just barely galloping along, so they had my man Stephen out there as the major ref. They could have just paid this. This is what they should have done. They should have just said Ricky the Steamboat Dragon the Steamboat as the special enforcer. It would have made a whole lot more sense. Because the fact it was almost like we had two different referees. You had Stephen in the ring while he was in the match, and you had Ricky hanging outside the ring the whole time. If, like I said, if he was the enforcer, it would have made more sense. Because pretty much that's basically what the role he was playing. So technically, they really didn't need to make him a special guest referee. They should have just said special guest enforcer, which would have made more sense. I'm going to make a long, short story because I got to get this thing over with because I got to get to bed because I got to go to church in the morning. Ricky called himself trying to cheat because somewhere down the line, I had put my head down for a hot second. I was looking at my phone, seeing what was going on X Corp. Stephen got knocked out, so there was no ref. So Ricky was pinning CM Punk. He had his, again, trying to cheat. He had his feet on the doggone rope. Ricky the Steamboat seen it, whacked his foot off. Ricky looked at him like, what the heck did you just do? CM Punk took advantage of it, laid him out, won. So no ref. Steph is somewhere asleep. Ricky jumped in there as the special guest referee, went in there, 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains his fake championship as expected. I told you, you knew dang well Ricky wasn't winning. And right after that, Ricky started beating up bricks off of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Started beating the bricks off of him. And it ended with CM Punk basically checking on him. Then he tried to chase that man down. He threw a chair at him. Ricky ran the heck up out of there. Now remember, CM Punk has been called out by Samoa Joe. Obviously, the situation with Ricky is not over. You know it's not. So I think where they're going, it feels like it may possibly be a triple threat. That's what I feel like. I think it's going to be Ricky versus Samoa Joe versus CM Punk for the fake championship. Like I said, man, decent. Like I said, I think it was. I'm gonna be 100% with you. The first matchup was better. It was a lot better. I think with the whole Ricky the Steamboat situation, I think it kind of took away from the matchup. I knew what they were trying to do, quote unquote. They were trying to go head to head with SummerJoke. Listen, look, you know me, I'm AEW through and through, but even I was watching SummerJoke before this. I told y'all, if a pay-per-view is coming on during Collision, I'm watching the pay-per-view first. Listen, I hate commercials. I would prefer watch the pay-per-view, then I ain't got to deal with no stupid commercials, no picture by picture, because I hate picture by picture. I will never be a fan of no picture by picture. Picture by picture sucks. It's terrible. But I don't think this is over, and I think it's going to be a triple threat. I think it's going to be Ricky Starks versus Samoa Joe versus CM Punk for the fake AXW Championship, because the X has been crossed out. I want to say something before I get out of here. I'm trying to get my thoughts together before I do. Give me a second, because I'm trying to remember what I want to say. Oh, CM Punk situation. I got to give this man props. Now, I'm not even going to talk about it. If I talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. But what I am going to talk about is CM Punk being healthy. This man has made it through 7 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. 7. He has made it through 7 weeks of wrestling. I got to give him props. I'm like, he's staying healthy. That's all I pray. I just pray he stay healthy. I pray everybody stay healthy, because we just got word that Pac is out. Pac is done. He just came back. I'm like, man, the fact that him and Jamie Hayter wanted to be on this show, and the both of them is out. It's crazy. And the CM Punk situation, I'm like, man, the boy just came back, and I'm like, he's staying healthy for 7 weeks. That's a plus in my book. Man, the matchup may not be great, but the fact he's staying healthy, that's all I care. Stay healthy. You stay healthy, storylines is what matters. The matchup may not be the best, but storylines is what matters. And I get what they were trying to do. They wanted people to have the sympathy for Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky is a flat-out heel now. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were saying, you suck. Now, it's funny how I did like the fact that during the whole matchup, the crowd loved it. I mean, we got a "This is awesome" chat doing the whole thing. Hey, if the crowd loves it, what am I to say? But they were saying CM Punk, Ricky Stark, CM Punk, back and forth. Great. Excellent. Like I said, Greenville was excellent. Greenville, South Carolina was an excellent crowd, and therefore the show in my book was a pass. It was a smash, if you ask me. I mean, Collision seems to get better and better week in and week out. I mean, it's unfortunate SummerJoke had to be trashed tonight. I wish it wasn't. I wish I would have walked away from a fantastic pay-per-view and then come back watch a fantastic Collision. And I would have said, yo, we got a fantastic Saturday night of wrestling. But nope. WWE said we're going to do WWE things and be crap. And that's exactly what they decided to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing else to say. I got to get my behind in the bed. You see me yawning at least 3 times on here. I got to get out of here. I'll talk to y'all cats later. You know exactly what to do. Hit the comment section up and tell me what you thought about everything wrestling-wise. If you hated Collision, tell me you hated Collision. If you loved SummerJoke, tell me why you love SummerJoke. If you dislike SummerJoke like I did and you love Collision, hit the comment section up. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and I will talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy.